Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T. from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Oh, yes, we're back on the air and everywhere from the community to the world. It's time for the Jesse T Show. Good to have you back with me. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. Good to be back in the studio with my main man here, Lee Baby Michaels. Thank you very much, Mr. Lee. Go whoop, whoop, whoop. That's right. We've been out about doing lots of remotes and out in the street a lot lately, the last couple of 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. But it's good to be back here with you. And we've got some special guests that we're going to be introducing in a second. But first, I do want to say thank you very much for checking in to the Jesse T Show here Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 live. We got it for you here every day of the week in paradise, I always say, except there's just too many people. Yeah, man, the weather's nice and everything's cool, but the traffic on the freeways and the byways are just horrible. It just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse and worse. That's why you got to get some backstreet action in you. More than Waze and Google Plus. You got to start cruising around those alleys to try to figure out how to get places when no one else can get anywhere, and you're getting places, and you can kind of laugh at everybody as you pass them up, right? There you go. Hey, that's traffic in L.A., and for those of you who have never lived in Los Angeles, around the world, and this beautiful country we call America, yeah, come to Los Angeles, and you'll be able to experience the world's worst traffic. But we're all here, and it's good to have you with us on Facebook.com/Jesse Torrero, Instagram Live at Jesse Torrero. Is starting to chime in and check in already, I see. Thank you guys. Oh, yeah, pass it on. We love it. Also, YouTube and live stream and Periscope and Google Plus and Pinterest and Reddit and Diggy and Twitter and LinkedIn and all those places. So it's good to have you here. And our foundation, thepowerofvoices.com. Always here on the radio side. Yeah, we are talking movie action today. We are talking movies, and we're back on the scene right now with 3 very, very terrific guys here. We kind of brought them in, and I got to thank Jerry Wolf for hooking this up for us, because Jerry's always been around forever and ever and ever. You know Jerry, he's been in here a whole bunch of times. And I think that guy knows everybody since Dead Sea was alive. I mean, he knows everybody. But to my far left, the man who's producing this film, one of the producers, we got Dean over here in the distinguished shirt here to my far left on the other side.
Reed.
Well, Dean Reed.
Reed Fenton.
Reed Fenton. Okay. Well, you know, look I've been screwing my name up many, many years, and everybody calls me everything. Just don't call me to do your dishes. Okay. And
Wouldn't think of it.
Oh, okay. Plastic forks and plates for me, that's for sure. All right, Reed. So we got Reed coming in there, and we got the phones are ringing around. You see, they always ring. They always seem to want to talk to me when I'm on the air.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. They just always want to do that.
It's your fame.
I don't know why it is, but they always call me. Isn't that right, Lee? Yeah. Always. It's inevitable. I get a phone call or two, and I just let it go because I just feel like I'm wanted. Absolutely. Hey, in the middle here, we have Morgan. What's happening, Morgan? And he's a cinematographer on this film and all in his whole career, right?
Yep, 15 years.
All right, sounds good. Absolutely. And the guys brought them all together here. We have Alex Kazan to my my left, right here, right by me.
I'm your left.
Yes, my right, my left, my left, my right. Sounds like a Abbott and Costello routine.
That's
Three
right.
Stooges or something like that.
Unrehearsed.
Yeah, well, that's what we do. We're unrehearsed here. That's what I've been telling her every night. I'm unrehearsed, baby. That's right. Yes, Rodney Dangerfield. No respect at all. But we're talking films, and that's what we're going to talk about today. It's some of the projects that you're working on here and that you've worked on in the past. But we do have some stuff to play. And you think that we should play number 5 first?
Yes. Why don't we play the 5th one first?
Yes, we're going to play the 5th one first as we totally confuse you up here. Start chiming in, everybody. We appreciate that. So Lee's going to hook that up. Let me know when we got that going on. So how was your journey to the station today?
Well, actually, I was going to the airport anyway, so I was close by. It was easy for me, but not for these guys.
Yeah, how was your journey, Morgan?
Typical LA. It's just wonderful. Just crank the AC and lay back.
Yeah, and play the music nice and loud. Absolutely. And how about you, my friend?
All good. It was
Yeah.
all good. It was pretty smooth. I actually just took city streets the whole way.
Sepulveda all the way down?
All the way.
Wow.
Ah, man,
That's
you
something.
got it. You got it. Absolutely. That's what I usually end up at the Skirball Center at 4:00. We talked about this, and if I'm not there at 4, I'm here late. So I'm jumping off on Sepulveda, or I'm jumping off on one of the streets that go this way, Barrington or Sepulveda or something, going this way. As long as I'm going this way or that way or over this way like this, yes, absolutely. Then I'm okay, and I get here in time. So you guys came together for a new movie. Let's touch that real quick, and then we'll play number 5 first.
Sure. Yeah, when I came up with the story, first thing I thought, I got to call my producer.
Mm-hmm.
I called Reed right away. I said, Reed, get ready. I've got a new story coming up soon. And I told him a little about it. We actually met up at Denny's.
You know, Denny's is like the 2468 special. It is absolutely all the pancakes you want for like $2. I like that. Absolutely. Which Denny's? Hollywood, across from the old CBS
Well, actually,
studios?
it was up there, but further up.
Silmar.
Silmar.
Oh, off of Roxford.
Halfway
Yes.
between.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
the
exactly the
Roxford
one,
Denny's.
Roxford.
Spent many a night sleeping in that parking lot, man. Let me tell you guys, absolutely many a night sleeping in that parking lot. Are we okay on the mics and everything? Okay, because we're not coming through here. Okay, just to making sure there, because it sounds like we are, but that's okay. Yes, Roxford Denny's.
Yeah, Roxford Denny's. I told him what it was. He said, yeah, I like that.
McDonald's is right across the street.
Yes.
That's
If
right.
your budget's lower, you go to McDonald's.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Denny's is where the
Well,
hot.
I was trying to impress him, so I
Yeah.
said, let's
Oh,
go
man.
Denny's.
Right.
You are an impressive director, man.
He said it was much like Le Cirque.
Yeah, I don't know what time of the day that was, but absolutely.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
That Denny's, I've been there many, many times. You know, and
We all have, I guess.
yeah, that is the last stop before you get into the wilderness.
Yes.
For 40 days and 40 nights, right? You cross over those mountains and you're in another land. That's
yeah.
for sure. So you guys met at Denny's,
Yeah.
but you knew each other. Wait a minute. We've got a stranger coming in
Yes,
here.
here she
Oh
is.
my goodness. We got to bring in the
Hello.
beautiful lady. Come on in here, beautiful lady.
Hello.
We're going to figure out where to put you. We're going to put you somewhere. Can we get another chair for her? We're going to get another. What is your name? Come up to this red
This is
microphone
Sheila.
there.
This is the lovely Sheila Shah.
Oh, Sheila. Ready for the
Take
world.
my seat here.
Oh, what a
Oh,
gentleman.
what a gentleman.
Hey, sit down here.
Thank you.
Okay, we're just talking how we got together. Get a little closer to this red
Yes.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer microphone. And you can come about that far away and be good. Okay, we got a chair for you. All right, absolutely. Now, so you guys are a little bit farther away. You have to speak
Hold
up
on,
just
we
a
should
little
have
bit more.
Sheila
Yeah, scoot over.
near the boys.
Yeah, get near the boys right there, and you come in here like this, and that way you guys are going to share this mic, and you guys are going to share that mic.
Yes.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
better.
that's much better. And there you go. So Sheila,
Hello.
so what brings you into our beautiful radio and TV station today?
Thank you for having me. Well, I'm part of this film.
Really?
It's very exciting.
You want to be a
Yes.
part of this film?
Yeah,
With
can you
these
believe
guys? Come on. They meet at Denny's in Roxford to conduct business.
it? Right?
Yes, business is business, and that's how we started. And right away, I knew one of the roles was just perfect for Sheila.
Isn't that great? You don't have to audition. You just know the role's perfect for
That's
you.
like every actress's dream.
Well, actually,
Yes,
actually,
please,
she had auditioned already. I had seen some of her reels before, and some of the scenes that she'd done. I thought, wow, she's just perfect for this thing. And I called her and I said, hey, read this script and tell me what you think.
The only thing I'm ever perfect for is when the CHP pulls me over. I always get the perfect ticket. You know, that's about my audition
I know,
right
that's
there. You know,
nice.
60 miles an hour in a 50 zone, right? Yeah. All right. So you guys met at Roxford, and you started talking about this project.
Yeah, Reed gave his okay. So once I had him on board, I went back and I finished the story.
Right.
You know, I wrote it, I scripted it, sent it over to him, we polished it. I got Morgan involved right away because I knew that he's going to be the cinematographer.
He needs the eyes. You got to get that
Yeah.
that
he has a
creative
great
aspect.
vision.
Right.
In the past, when we worked together, we just look at the script and he comes up with ideas for scenes that I think, oh my gosh, you know, this guy's fantastic.
Right.
So I knew right away that's who I want on board, and called him. He read the script, and you give me your okay, right?
Oh, it's fantastic.
The name of the working name of the film is what?
It's Virus.
Virus. And we're going to
Yes.
get a little more about this, but we want to play number 5 first.
Okay, play number 5.
Now, number 5, set this number 5 reel up and tell us what it is.
5 is based on a novel by Maureen Aplin.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote this. She's a judge, or she used to be a judge in Orange County. And she contacted me. She said, I got this book, this story, and I like your work. Do you think you could turn it into a movie? So I said, well, I'm just getting on the plane. Let me read it on the plane. I was going to England, like I'm tomorrow as well. And
Wow.
I read it on the way. I said, well, this is it. We're going to make this movie. It's great. It's based on some true stories that happened in her courtroom.
Oh, that's funny.
So serial
Judge
killer
Judy in
and all
film,
that.
right?
Yes. That's exactly what it was.
Judge Judy in film. And were
we
you a
shot
part
it.
of this, Reed? Were you part of this
I
film?
was not. We hadn't met
No.
then.
Yeah,
Okay.
we hadn't met at the time, and I wish we had. It would have turned out even better. But we did do the festival circuit with it, and very successful.
Okay, so let's play this. This is just a little taste
This is just a teaser
of what you guys like to put together
The
here
5.
on the Jesse T Show. Hit it, my friend. So a psychological thriller, kind of a horror picture, and this was probably from a case that she had in her courtroom.
Yes.
So this
was
actually
definitely-
happened.
Yes.
So the story is about what actually took place.
Yeah. That boy that you see in
The
there.
dancer boy?
Yeah, he
Right.
started killing his neighbors when he was 9.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. And so they arrested him when he was 11 after killing like 5 different people.
Up there in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but because of legalities, because he was a minor, they could only keep him in prison or psychiatric department until he was 21.
Right.
Then they had to release him.
You know, that's really cool how you were taking these real live stories
Yes.
and then putting them into film.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool idea. So is that film filled full of these stories or these vignettes, or is that actually the whole film itself about his life?
I got a whole bunch of them that she had, and then put them all together and made it one story.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, there's like 3 different killers, but we made them all into one.
And what a lot of people don't know is that you actually hold a PhD in psychology.
Yes.
So,
That's right.
I mean, you
I
understand.
think you have a doctorate as well, don't you? Sheila
Well, I have
as
a
well.
chemistry degree.
So,
Yes.
wait a minute. We gotta wait a second. What? Do you have a degree too?
Yeah, I was at Harvard.
Oh my God! And Reed, yes.
Yes, I have a degree. Yes.
Okay, my degree is running away from the cops a lot when I was a juvenile delinquent. That was my degree.
There you go.
And I had pretty good PhDs too, right? Wow, I'm amongst very intelligent people, so I must be very intelligent now. That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
But okay, so terrific. So this is out. This
Well, this was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
and this was all the different
Yeah, we went to a lot of festivals.
and did well.
And, I was invited there. They liked it. People voted for it. It was really good time. And then it actually is not all about killing. It also turns into more of a CSI kind of a thing where they find out who it is that's doing the killing.
All right, so that's something you've done in the past,
Yes.
and now we're talking about the new film,
Virus. Yeah.
And give us a little bit of idea of what that's about, but don't give it all away.
That's not. Why don't you ask Reed about that? He likes talking about virus.
What is the virus about, but not giving it all away?
Well, in a nutshell,
This is really cool, guys, because listen up. This is really cool. You're going to like this.
it's about a computer programmer that is engaged to a young woman, and he goes on assignment to Boulder Dam because he designed the program for the water flow there. They're having some issues with it, so he has to reconfigure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he goes. He stops off in Vegas, which is very close, but on the way, he stops. He's with his friend who is driving because he doesn't like to drive. He stops at a rest stop, and unbeknownst to him, because it's all very kind of behind the scenes, he gets exposed to a virus, thus the name virus. And the virus is given to him for a very specific reason. So he goes and goes to the hotel, and suddenly he's being chased by men in black from the hotel. And he doesn't know why. He has no idea why. And he runs into a young prostitute, and she helps hide him. And
Man, I like this already. You got virus, guy getting a virus, running into prostitutes and being chased by men in black. Man, this is like right up my alley. Yeah, I like this.
There's more. There's more.
There's more, huh?
Yes.
this prostitute is aligned with an organization that is very into extraterrestrials and UFOs.
Oh, yeah.
And what is being talked about right now, and it's actually happening, is that there's a comet that's coming towards Earth, and it's going to destroy the planet, and they have to somehow subvert this. So, and to do this, they have to get to Area 51, and there's a captive extraterrestrial there that they need to get out and get released so that they can subvert this comet.
So you got Area 51.
Right.
You've got aliens and not illegal aliens.
They're all illegal.
Oh, yes, I got to get some politics in there. We didn't build a big enough wall to keep those aliens out. That's right. And then you have some crazy, wild, crazy girl, some sexual stuff, fun stuff like that. And then you got this genius who doesn't know why he's starting to act different and is going someplace. And then you have bad guy, good guy, bad guys chasing him.
We have lots of bad guys.
I like that.
We got the FBI, CIA, NSA, you name it, the Secret Service.
Right.
They're all after this one guy because if anybody finds out that he has an alien virus, if he goes to a hospital, to a doctor, and they say, wow, I've never seen this before, it's alien, then it's going to reveal to everybody that we have aliens on the planet.
Right.
But the government wants to keep that quiet. It's all conspiracy theories. So, yeah, they're all after him. They want to do everything to get him, but he has one advantage.
What's that?
The virus gives him special powers.
Oh, wait a minute now. Okay, I like the Marvel aspect here. Yes, I like that whole superpowers.
Yes.
Oh, we love superpowers, man. I'm telling you, the only virus I ever got was from South Africa. And I couldn't figure out what it was when I came home. Yes, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that needs antibiotics.
Yeah, oh, is that what that means?
Or you don't want to be taking antibiotics.
Look, I didn't end up at Area 51, but I ended up at 7-Eleven. You know, Circle K didn't have enough numbers in it. You know, so yes, all right. I'm connecting this in some way. I don't know how that's happening on the Jesse T Show. This sounds like a cool movie. What is it like to write a movie like that with all these little different fragments that have to tie together? Somewhere in the film, it has to be wrapped up somewhere where it all sort of makes sense because you're jumping around a lot. I mean, that's kind of cool to write.
Well, yeah.
You got to be psychologically insane to do that. You're a doctor of psychology.
I am
That's
insane.
right.
I'm Dr. Insane.
So
yeah, writing is good because what happens is you can travel to any world you want. You can be anywhere you want. You can do anything you want.
right.
So I've got this little note by the side of my monitor. It says, "You're not licensed to create." And I can create anything I want. I'm God, basically. And so I can create it. I can give him powers. I can make things happen. Unbelievable things happen. And it's all from my computer.
I like that. Absolutely. So now you get hooked up with Morgan, and when you saw this script, you probably saw 1,000 million different cool shots, especially with this way the story's going.
Yeah, it's an action comedy. It's and there's so much kinetic action in it. The how to use the camera to essentially go crazy on this huge voyage. There are chases of every different description in this thing, and for a cinematographer, that's gold. That's gold.
There's nothing more boring than having a stationary camera and you're in one spot and not moving anything and just moving just a little bit. But what's fun when you're doing all this, you can bring all the technology in of today and all the micro cameras and all the handheld stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point. Moving cameras has become a lot easier and cheaper now.
Yeah, remember how it used to be 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? I mean, it was insane. The cost is now you can go anywhere and just about get anything, and that's changed the industry quite a bit. The technology for the youngsters.
That's very important for us when we're writing and or directing. We got to be up to date with all the technology, because when you're writing it, there's no problem. Morgan can do this. Morgan can do that. And that's all. I'm completely thinking, how am I going to relate this scene to my crew?
Right.
And I said, I just tell him that we need this and Morgan can do it.
What's so interesting about it for you, Reed, when you first saw the script and the premise of the idea? What hooked you?
Well, because it's an action picture with comedy, it's just terrific. But I mean, there's a lot of very heavy scenes involved too. It's kind of resembles, let's say, Ant-Man and the Wasp, where there's all this comedy, but yet tremendous action. So, and that has this chases and death-defying.
But the chases are also more interesting, I think, than some of the films I've seen. For example, the character, after he gets his superpowers, finds he can jump, so he jumps up 40 feet to a zip line and takes a zip line to evade. We've all seen we've all seen, how many car chases have we seen? So many. I mean, how many more things can you do with a car unless you have $100 million to do it, right? So now you invent much more madcap ways of evading the Men in Black, and that's what makes this film special, is that there are so many different unexpected types of chases.
Right now, I'm still fixated on the zip line. The zipper line? Zip line?
Zip line.
Oh, okay. I just was wondering, going to get myself in trouble here with Mama T, because I was after her zip line for a long time. She's my wife for 29 years, so I've known her for 43. I've been trying to get rid of her since I met her. It's just not working out. But the zipper line thing, I'm sorry.
Yeah, zip line.
That's what happens when you've been married.
There's a zip line in Las Vegas.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
People can ride on. So
that's cool. Yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
what we did, because I really didn't want it to look like Marvel, where the guy grabs his hammer and starts flying all over the universe.
Right. Yeah.
I wanted it to be more realistic, right? So that it's something that, he has these extra powers, but they're not super powers like he does. He can jump higher than average person. Right. He can run faster, perhaps, or see things farther away. And so he's still human, and he can just do a bit more. he can still be in danger. He can't just stand and say, "Oh, here's my hammer, bang, you're all going." He has to run away. He has to escape. Right. Otherwise, he wouldn't be scared of anything.
So now you got your hands on this idea in this script, and you have such a lovely face.
Thank you.
And I see a lot of comedic flair in your face, in your eyes, and your smile. Did you instantly fall in love with the comedy aspect, or was it more the dramatic aspect with your character?
Honestly, a little bit of both. I just loved my character because, it was, at first you read it and you think, oh, it's typical girl from a good family, very wealthy, but then it just shows like love conquers all. Right. And even though she has this aspect of like, possessiveness over her guy who she's going to get married to.
And the guy is the star.
Yes.
Okay, so you're playing the lead actress in this.
Yes.
Oh, terrific. All right.
So even though like, she has this, possessiveness over him, and the way I was growing up, very conservative. So it had some aspect of it that was very similar to how I was brought up, in a Middle Eastern family. But then,
I thought you were from Jupiter.
Yeah, people
I would
say
never
that.
guess.
Or
Maybe
Mars.
Saturn. Yes. Right. Okay.
And no, it just shows that love conquers all, and she really believes in her fiance. She trusts him instead of going into a negative space. She right away, has this intuition. He must be in danger. A lot of females, they would go into the space of like, oh, he's in Vegas, he's partying, he's with some prostitute, versus like, I'm like, no, he has to be in danger, and just love conquers it all, and which is kind of it's a great character, and it's a great it has a great arc to it.
Is there a cool transition in there that your character makes that we can look forward to, where your character goes from this to this and instantly, or something like that? I mean, that's always cool.
I don't have any special powers, but my special power
of
is
a beautiful woman, someone who loves her man in this movie. That's
yes,
power enough.
Exactly. And
honey, I don't want you to have my power anymore. Okay? Gosh, every time I turn around, I'm having to put out money for that power. Thank you. Yes.
But she does have a transition.
Am I getting in trouble again?
You're always in trouble.
You're always in trouble.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting.
Pretty much.
Oh, Lord. Yes, I might be coming home with you tonight.
We have a spare room.
So is there like a transition where you realize something? Or?
Yes, of course. It's I'm calling him. He's not picking up his phone, and even so, it's like for me is I'm going to get my husband to be, and no, it doesn't matter what it takes. I'm getting in that car, taking a car, and going to find him.
You got any good fight scenes?
No fight scenes, but I'm fighting to get to him.
Oh, okay.
I'm fighting to find him. I'm fighting to get to him, and it's just I'm not stopping until
so
I do.
You have a real cool love story going on.
Oh yeah,
too.
we have a great love story because the transition for her character is she's very much because she's from a very wealthy family.
Right.
So she has this whole thing about her wedding. She's going to have 500 guests. Her dad's just spent $5 million on a wedding preparations, and it's a big thing. And to her, at that moment, at the beginning of the movie, the whole marriage thing is about this wedding. But then, by the end of the movie, she realizes it's the love that's important. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't care about the big wedding anymore. She's prepared to get married to him anywhere, as long as she's marrying him.
As long as I'm with him. It doesn't matter where we get married.
Now,
so
that's the big transition.
So she's going to have to write a lot of letters. So
it's like, sorry, Dad, I'm marrying him no matter what. I don't care about the glam of it.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a question. He can't hear it. Okay. Is this guy a pain in the butt to work with?
Oh, my God.
Don't tell him. Okay. It's just for you and me. Okay.
No, he's been nothing but wonderful, and I'm excited to be on set with him and be directed by him. And
I'll give you the $25 after the show to give to him, okay? So, Reed, when you start looking at a project from the producing standpoint and the financial standpoint, it seems to me that now today Hollywood, the budgets are all over the place, and we can make great films and great entertainment for far less than we used to be able to. Is that primarily because there's more money available, or is the technology has gotten less expensive, or what do you think in terms from the producing side?
Well, I think the most important thing is the story and the script. When you have that basis, you can kind of engineer everything else. And there are a lot of effects in this because there's flying saucers and spaceships and things like that. A lot of CGI. And when you look at typical films now, the credits go on for 7, 8, 10 minutes because of all this extra work. So we're doing a kind of a typical execution of a film, but then a lot is going to be added later. And back to the story, where I think that really has to be the basis. If the story grabs you and its twists and turns really are magic.
Yeah, that's the exciting part about it. It takes the audience in places they don't think they're going to go. And all of a sudden you end up there. From a cinematographer's point of view, I mean, to be able to look ahead while you're making this scene happen and connecting it to some other part of the script, because you're always shooting out of sequence. So connecting it to some other part to weave that journey that I as the audience take. How do you do that? How do you keep it all in your head? I mean, you're shooting this scene here tonight, but tomorrow night you're shooting a completely different scene that is a completely different part of the script. How do you keep that journey?
Yeah, we'll be Alex and I will be sitting down and probably having lots of lunches at Denny's, which we'll go through the visual arc of the picture, and typically I get my directors to give me lots of references, any references to movies that have been shot already that have a certain quality. So maybe there's the kinetic action works from this picture, and maybe some of the colors work from this other one, and then my job is to sort of push in a little bit and challenge them a little. Like maybe it could look a little bit more like this,
Right.
Maybe what if, especially as somebody you've worked with before who really trusts you, and can let you push them a little bit. My goal is to make something that looks like something that's no one's ever seen really, right? Just because he gives me a reference for Batman or whatnot,
right.
It doesn't mean okay, I'm just going to go ahead and it's just going to be just like that.
Right.
No, we want something that has a memorable flavor.
Yeah, when you have a good relationship with your director as a cinematographer, that really helps, because you're both on the same page and you're both seeing the same vision, and you can have a discussion about where you want to go with that scene. Because there's actually what a lot of folks don't know is there's lots of improv that's done out there in terms of, you got your shot selection, you got all the technical stuff all set up, and you're going to do this. But then the actress or the actor comes in and they give the first take or whatever, and then you start saying, well, maybe I need to change the light, maybe I need to do this, maybe I mean there's a lot of give and take, isn't there?
But the thing that people don't always understand is that the director ends up in a bit of a bubble, right? The director needs a lot of input from people, right, from all different departments. But the thing is, he can often end up in a bubble where people are sort of just implementing around him, like, okay, we'll do that because it needs to move forward. But
lots of times.
In fact, so what directors often, everybody looks to the director for the answer, right?
Right.
That's probably the worst scenario to be in. What you really need is people who can say, actually, I think you're full of shit.
Yeah.
And do so in a way that, like, it's all
Right.
we're all friends,
right?
And then he'll tell me I'm full of shit one time,
right?
And that's the kind of relationship you want. You want
I've been full of shit since I've been born.
Who can put something, who can go through that bubble and is willing to, be wrong.
Well, you like Martin Scorsese. He sits in the trailer when he's doing all these mafia Italian movies. He's sitting in the trailer now with the cameras, with the monitors and everything. He's not even on the set. He's 100 feet off or wherever, 20 feet off, wherever the trailer is for that. So I mean, that's really that bubble you're talking about.
Well, it's actually a different kind of bubble because it's actually really smart for him to do that, because when you're shooting on set, and especially when you're shooting comedy, when you're on crew, you're getting input from everybody around you. You don't see what's on screen because you're having your crew laugh around you, right?
Yeah.
But when you're behind the monitor and you just have the headphones and you just have the image, you're either laughing at what's on screen or you're not, and you have a much better judge of whether the material is actually funny.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, when we're shooting, I'm always in a different room because I don't want to be watching the actors act. I want to see them on the screen acting because that's the end result. If I'm there in the room, I mean, he's always shooting over there, I'm here.
Right.
Because now I see actually what the audience are going to see on the screen. If I'm in the same room, I'm seeing their bodies and that, but he's only showing the faces, right? So I'm always in a different room, like you say, or back there.
So I want to play another one of the videos that you sent just to kind of show some more work that the crew has done here. Which one should we play now? We played 5-1. And so now which one should we play? That's number 2.
I don't know which ones do we have there.
Well, we have, what do we have, Lee? Sword? We got Sword.
That's something that we are going to be working on. That's the teaser as well.
Should we play that one?
No. Let's do that later if we have time.
Okay.
You want to do Seat of Justice?
Yeah. Okay. I just came from the Beverly Hills courthouse.
Yes.
I was sitting in the seat of justice all day
That's
today.
the whole reason I wrote that
I
one.
know you did it just for me today, didn't you? You knew something.
I wrote
That's
it
that psychology
because
stuff.
a lot happens in that court and people don't know about it.
Yeah, well,
That's why we wrote
I was trying to hit on the judge because she had red hair. I was trying to get some favor.
We don't do that.
No,
because
I
it
know.
becomes a Me Too action.
Yes, absolutely. But I'd be her Me Too. She
But
cut me off
this
$800.
clip is actually really good because 95% of what you see is Morgan's work.
Okay. Oh, this is
Apart
great.
from the stuff from the second unit.
So
the first unit is
this
Morgan.
is called
Seat of Justice.
Seat of Justice, and whenever you're ready, Lee.
I wish they were dead.
A man betrayed by the world.
Substantiating evidence? You're not a cop, you're a pencil pusher.
A detective betrayed by a corrupt system.
Those practices are not within our procedures anymore, Lombardi. You hear me?
And a city riddled in crime.
This time you crossed the wrong man. This time you crossed the wrong man.
Welcome to Boxtown, USA.
You know, sometimes you gotta break the law to uphold it.
I tried to let it go. I
thought you said you cleaned up your act. He's still walking, isn't he?
I've got a hunch, Chief.
Hey, we live in the 21st century. Cops don't go by hunches anymore.
Come on, we don't need the FBI looking over our shoulders.
We're not here to look over your shoulder.
I feel the same way about my suspect.
Don't touch that mask.
The people have found you guilty as charged.
I did it! I'll pay whatever you want!
He doesn't want money from this guy.
He wants justice.
Broadcast explain to him why I'm pushing past him.
Oh, man.
Everyone in the middle!
Who the hell do you think you are? You can't arrest me. Oh.
I want to touch you too.
That's very cool, man. That's like scary.
Yeah,
That's like scary.
We owe that to Morgan because he
job.
designed all the lighting
job,
and everything. He's more than just a cinematographer. He runs a whole crew. He talks to the gaffers, the lighting people. He tells them exactly what he wants. And I mean, it takes his time. Sometimes it gets frustrating waiting for him because he wants everything down to perfection. Yeah. But the result is worth it.
Yeah, that's really
really
cool.
good scenes.
I love that. I love a lot of the scenes in there, and they're shocking and surprising.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, and I like the two cops.
Yeah, that was Jeremy London.
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw that. Those in
Yeah,
driving
he
the
was
car.
really good, by the way. I just want to give him a shout out because he was
Absolutely.
really well behaved.
Yes, he was.
He did excellent. He
Yes.
did excellent job for us.
So, are you looking forward to doing this movie, knowing all the body of work that these gentlemen have done?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's always great.
Is it a different kind of movie that you have normally done or been cast in?
Yes. This character, yes, is different from the characters I've done.
What do you normally play?
I've played a lot of cops.
Tough women cops.
Tough woman.
Yeah,
I've
you have
also
that
played,
look. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I just came off a movie called The Poison Rose with John Travolta and Morgan Freeman.
How was it like working with Morgan?
Morgan was very lovely. I had a good scene with John Travolta. It was
Yeah.
great. I
Yeah.
loved working with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get different characters, but yeah, this one I'm excited for it. It's got a great arc, and
Was working with John Travolta, and then did you work with Morgan?
Morgan, I didn't have one-on-one scene with Morgan. He was in the scene with me, but I had one-on-one.
It would have
scene
been
with
interesting to
John
talk
Travolta.
about the contrast of each actor with you as an actor. You know, and you're acting
Morgan
with
is. They're both very professional.
Well,
They're- I mean,
obviously,
they're
of
both
course.
been in the business for
Forever,
so long, and
right. Yeah.
you can just tell they're very efficient and
Right.
fast and
They get to where they want to go real quick.
very quick, and they give you so much as an actor, so
Right.
you have so much to play with.
Right.
So it was actually really fun. It was a great experience.
It is a good experience when you get a chance to work with people that have been around a long time. You pick up a lot of little cues, and that helps you as an actor for your
You're
next.
better as an actor
Yeah.
because you're just more in it.
You know what you can get away with.
Yeah.
You know where you can stretch, and they do that.
And they play around with the scene. So if
Right.
you're a good actor, you can. It's like ping pong. You can just.
Yeah,
like,
there's a software out there that what they do is they play these movies and they run the scripts under the movies for the audience to see the scripts and how sometimes the actors change a word or two or change a whole sentence or leave a whole sentence fragment out from the original script the way it was written and how we saw it as the audience when we paid our money to go see the film. So that's very interesting because you can really that alludes to what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of that ability to
Well,
have
I
some
always
info.
tell my actors, I always explain, I said, the script is just a guideline. You got to become the character and tell me how the character would say this thing. You know, that way you can express it emotionally the way he or she would say it.
But as a producer now, you know, I know you got Guido and Sarducci over there in the back to make sure these guys don't go too hog wild and crazy with the dollars.
That's right. Yeah, some real knuckle breakers we have in the background.
That's right. That's absolutely. You got to have them guys back there. Hey, what are you doing? Huh?
Yes.
Well, you
Right.
taking too long here. Come on. What's
Flashlights,
wrong?
Morgan, not Musco lights.
Yes. That's right. You know, what's wrong with you?
Well,
you
we'll
know?
send you the bill for 10,000 flashlights.
Oh, boy. Yes.
Touche.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. It takes a team to really make a good film, doesn't it?
It actually, you know, talking about flashlights, we did that one night in the woods because
Oh.
they're taking all the lights down and everything else. And it was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And Morgan said, how about we can do this thing? And I think you saw a little bit of a scene there where the dogs are chasing.
Mhm.
And so I said, yeah. And the lights were already taken down into the truck. And we just got some flashlights. And we just pointed a few people with flashlights.
Throw some dust
on the
up. You got
dog,
that. You get that
and
that
we
eerie
started
look.
doing that whole thing. Yes. So you did it.
Very cool, man. I'd hate to have you set up my Halloween house. You're gonna scare the bejesus out of every kid that comes by.
You should hope so.
Yeah, that's the plan. Absolutely. So, when are you going to start shooting this? When did this go to production?
It's all up to our producer.
So, can I encourage you to come on, just get it done? It looks like a great film.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a certain amount of time to get
Right.
the project set up, of course.
Yeah.
And I would say that we're hoping for next spring. So
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're waiting for is our lead.
Right.
We haven't assigned anybody to it. I know exactly who I want for
Right.
the lead.
I'm not available. Okay, I just want you to know.
I know because you're not available.
Yes, of course.
You're delaying our
Yes,
work.
yes, of course.
But have you heard of Adam Scott?
Now I have.
I badly need Adam Scott.
Adam Scott, we need you badly,
Yes.
and I want 5%.
Yeah, I really want him to be the lead in this movie.
Yes.
I think he would do an excellent job. He's got a show right now on Fox called Ghosted.
Right. Oh, yeah, I know the show.
Yeah, Ghosted, he plays a similar character in that. And,
Yeah, one of the things as you get older, the actors get younger.
Yes.
And you don't know them all by first name all the time.
Yeah.
Because there's always, with so much work out there now for people to do, there's so much entertainment on the internet, on cable, on TV and films and independent projects, that there's so many great actors. It's how you keep track. 80 years ago, you could keep track of the half a dozen actors in town that were always making the films.
Well, one of the things that makes this project really interesting is that you have an entire group of conspiracy theorists here that are cast. They're some of the most interesting characters in the film, and some of them are actually perhaps playing themselves.
Well,
so I think I really would be curious to hear. But this is actually one of the things.
I love the conspiracy.
This is going to really sell this film.
Yes.
And
so what we did was I wanted this group of theorists, conspiracy theorists, to be helping our lead character, right? And then I looked around about the people who are well known in the realm of UFOs and Area 51.
Ufology.
So we actually got the actual people who are well known.
Oh, then you had to get my boy Alex Jones.
So there you go. Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes, my boy.
And that's how.
Yeah, I like that guy.
We got
or
Dave
Stephen
Teague.
Quayle. Or Stephen Quayle.
We have Glenn Campbell.
Yes.
I just talked to him a few months ago, and he loved it. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to play myself in the movie."
Right.
And one of them unfortunately just passed. What was the one?
All you got to do is listen to Coast and George Norrie every night.
George Norrie is actually in there.
Really?
Yes.
I love George.
I love him. And also, apart from George Norrie, there is Dean Koontz has a book.
Yes, I know Dean Koontz.
And
right.
he has a character in one of his books called Lantern, who plays a very similar role as George Norrie. So Lantern is going to be a part of it.
Yeah, you were talking right up my alley, buddy. I drive him crazy with all my conspiracies.
Oh yeah.
But the conspiracies are very well in right now. So to speak.
They all end up being true.
Yes.
All of them do at some point in the future.
Well,
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Oh no, we go round and round about this all the time. All right, so the movie is called Virus, and we're looking for get into production next spring, and that probably means somewhere towards the end of next year that it'll be finally done.
Yes,
and be able to see it. In the meantime, what other projects are going on for you guys? How about you? You got some cool stuff happening. You just came off a cool movie.
I just got off a cool movie, and I can't talk about it yet because it
don't
hasn't
have
been
to
confirmed.
talk about
but yeah, I do have a couple of really good projects. I'm also producing.
Right.
So I'm excited about some of the projects. I can't talk about them
yet. You
yet
can't talk
because
about
it's
those
not.
either.
Yes. Well, no. I'm doing one called The Honorable Men. And it's with Tony Kaye directing.
Right. Okay.
And I have 2 more projects that's supposed to go this year as an actress.
Yeah, it's a lot of work in the producing side of getting all the material and all the pieces together. Things don't happen overnight, do they, Reed? Producing. It takes sometimes years to bring a good film to the audience. Yeah, so you have to have a lot of irons in the fire. Morgan, what you got coming up? What you been doing?
Well, I'm just coming off of something. I'm recovering from a film.
Wait a minute, they beat you up?
No, well, actually, yeah. It's to some degree. It's an action film shot in Vietnam called Fury.
Did you go to Vietnam?
Yeah, we shot in Vietnam for 45 days, so that's what I'm coming back from.
Yes, nice.
And yeah, it's just a tremendously interesting picture starring No Tan Van.
Yeah.
And she most recently played in Last Jedi. But really stunning.
And Vietnam has really
for sure.
changed dramatically. It's not the Vietnam of the 1960s and 70s that we remember.
No,
it's
a very, very modern Asian city in many regards. Even though it's a communist country, it has the trappings of capitalism.
Well, they have
all
capitalism
around.
just like China.
But just the look of it is we found some little places within that city that are just fascinating. Like they hadn't changed in 80 years.
Right. So how did they accept you as Americans?
I think the Vietnamese are some of the most accepting, loving people out there. If you hang out, drink beer, and eat street food, everybody becomes fast friends.
Wait a minute. As long as the street food is cooked, it's not wiggling.
Well, no, it's not wiggling. But,
Okay.
But they have escargot and all sorts of other things that might challenge the American foodie.
As long as it's dead and it's cooked, I'm okay. Wiggly stuff, I'm not. I just can't wiggly that stuff down. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. I know you're always working. You got this project, but
I'm working on Space Invaders.
Is that like the game Space Invaders?
I took the name from that game, yeah. I was sitting there one day and I was thinking about it, and I thought, you know what? In all these movies, there's always aliens coming here, invading our Earth, and then we have to fight them, like Independence Day and that. I said, but how would the aliens look at that if we went to their planet? So I wrote a reverse movie, and I called it Space Invaders, where we are the invaders. But
I'd love to see who you're going to cast in that. That's got. Is it a drama? Is it a comedy?
No, it's action, sci-fi.
Oh,
it's all action. A lot of action.
That's funny. That's funny.
So, yes, it's about us going.
So what are you coming off of, Reed? What do you got out there?
I'm setting up right now a couple of projects. A TV pilot that hopefully will turn into a series that is a dramedy that deals with rehab and who's really running the asylum here.
Right.
A lot of the people that work there
right.
have a lot of issues also.
Yeah.
And I'm working on a feature, setting it up that deals with the rise and demise of Pablo Escobar.
Oh, yeah.
His whole going from nothing to huge money, and then, of course, he's been dead for a while. But,
Well, he ran the whole thing for a long time.
Yes.
So. And created all those landing strips, in Costa Rica and on the islands off of
Colombia.
Also. Colombia too, and absolutely. And there's been a lot of movies that have done their adaptation of that. But that's always a cool subject to cover because it's fascinating how the CIA helped him get to where he was.
Right. A lot of action in that film.
What do you mean CIA helped him?
CIA?
Is that a conspiracy theory?
No, that's the truth, man. You want to? Hey, buddy, I am the king of truth. Conspiracy actually means truth in Latin. Did you know that? Oh, yes.
I didn't.
Yeah, well, now you do. You learned something good from Jesse T. Right. All right. So we got pretty much everything covered. And anybody want to say hi to mom, dad, brother, sister?
Yes, I'm going to be in England tomorrow. So I'm going to say hi to all of my friends in England.
What are you going to England for?
We had some bad news, so I'm flying over.
I'm sorry.
And I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. But I'm going to visit all the places where I used to, because that's where I went to university.
Yeah, I spent time in Yorkshire.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Leeds.
You're going to Yorkshire? Leeds?
Yes.
Get out of here. The RAF base is right by there.
That's right.
I know it
it's
well.
It's Harrogate.
Yeah, Harrogate. That's right. Yes, and Adrian's Wall's not too far.
There you go.
Come on. It's me, Jesse T.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. London's cool, but the countryside of England is very cool.
Yeah, I'll be in Ilkley Moors.
Yeah, very, 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 very nice. All right, so we got pretty much everything covered, didn't we?
I think we did.
All right, so now it's time to party, right?
Let's do it.
So who brought the Dr. Pepper and hot dog? I'm ready. Absolutely. Hey, that's cool, man. Thanks a lot, guys, for checking into the Jesse T Show here Monday through Friday from 5 to 6 every day of the week. And got to thank very much. We got Reed and Morgan and Alex and this beautiful lady, Oh Sheila, Ready for the World. That was Oh Sheila, right? Yeah, we should have had that song lined up. If we knew that you were coming in, I'd be playing Ready for the World right now. That was a great song in the 1980s. You remember that song?
Of course.
I think everybody probably sang it to you, right?
Everybody did.
But you were only about 5 years older in the 1980s, right? Because you're just a youngster.
Yes. I don't think she knows it.
I know the song.
No. Anybody named Sheila's got to know that song.
Yes.
No, she knows it, but she wasn't there when it was singing.
No, you weren't there when it was singing because you're just a baby. What? You're only like 19, right? Okay, I'll take that.
I don't know. 19 is a bit too young.
Oh, okay, 22?
Sure, I'll take 20.
Okay, I'll take $50. Okay, thank you. I'm upping it now. It used to be 25. That's right. It's getting expensive living in Los Angeles. Hey, good to have you guys. Thank you very much. We had a good time. Hey, check it out now. Podcasting live on Twitter, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Instagram, live on Periscope. Those are all our podcast sites, and we'll be pushing it out on all the other stations that we're on here. And thanks a lot, Lee, for hanging out with me again and putting up with me. On the powerofvoices.com, it's the Jesse T Show, on the air and everywhere from the community to the world. Hey, that's it, guys. We're going to get out of here. See ya. The Brown Beauty's off duty. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Okay, who's taking me out to dinner? Okay?